welcome to the channel. Today's video is going to be a recap of the cancellation process that we went through with Carnival and Southwest.
Valerie, Kyle Travel Channel.
This was due to Hurricane Milton that recently went through Florida on October 10th. So we were actually scheduled to cruise out from Tampa on the same day that the hurricane was headed through Tampa, which was just horrible for all of the families and everything that went through that. I was monitoring it just about every day, watching the updates, and it was a very unfortunate event. Hopefully we're almost out of hurricane season, but because this was our first time dealing with any sort of weather cancellation like that, I figured I would let people know the process, how quickly everything was relayed to us, and how everything ended. So on Sunday, that was October 6th, we did get an email from Southwest letting us know that there was a weather advisory and that they would be monitoring everything. I also got an email from Carnival saying the same thing. There's a weather advisory. We're monitoring the hurricane. We'll keep you updated. On the 7th, which was Monday, we did get a voicemail from the hotel that we had booked. We were planning on flying in the day before, and they let us know that there could be an issue with the reservation. They may not be able to fill it. So basically at the beginning of the week, all of the notifications started rolling in. We made sure we had our information either for text, email, voicemail, however people needed to reach us, because as these are coming in, we're trying to wait until the cruise was canceled to be able to change the flights and cancel the hotel. It's kind of just a waiting game because we didn't really know what was going to happen. So on the 7th, we did get a voicemail from the hotel, like I said, with a weather warning. On the 7th, we also got a text message from Southwest saying that our flights had been canceled and rebooked. So I think that was even only a couple hours apart, where they texted me and said that they had canceled our flight for the 9th and they rebooked it for the 10th, which we were sitting and watching that the hurricane is supposed to be going through on the 10th, and they did reschedule it very fast. We kind of knew that that wasn't going to happen, so we were just waiting till we heard from Carnival, because then we'd be able to go through and cancel everything until we could hear from them. We didn't want to go through and cancel. We don't want to cancel Carnival because then, you don't get a refund. So the process was just very much us checking on updates and waiting and checking and waiting. On the 8th, we did get notice that our hotel room had been canceled for the next day. And on the 8th, we also did get text messages and emails from Carnival letting us know in the morning that they were still monitoring everything, and we were scheduled to cruise 2 days later. So we were pretty sure at that point there was no way that we were going to make it to Tampa, nor did we want to. The last thing that people need in that situation is more people coming in that don't really need to be there when you're trying to clean up after a hurricane, clean up after a flood, a storm, all of the natural disasters. So on the 8th, later in the day, I did get a text and an email and a voicemail from Carnival letting us know that the cruise was canceled officially. And that was just shy of 48 hours prior to when we were supposed to be on the cruise ship. So I felt like that was a reasonable amount of time for them to let us know what was going on. And as they were monitoring everything, I hopped on the Carnival website. They put daily updates on. I snagged a screenshot of that. Here's what this looks like. They replaced the update with the one later in the day, so you can't see the previous updates. Most of them just said, hey, we're monitoring the situation. And they had different text message numbers you could text depending on which cruise you were on, if that would be affected. After that, we were notified that we would get a full refund from Carnival And from the 8th, that was when we were notified of the cancellation and that we would get the refund. We had paid with some gift cards and with a credit card. So a couple different ways. We did get those refunds back completely by the 16th. So it was, I think, 7 business days, within 7 business days. So they reissued our booking to hold the cruise back to the credit card. It basically went back to the original form of payment. And then they reissued some virtual gift cards for what we had paid with gift cards. Everything was refunded. Like I said, it was canceled on the 8th, refunded by the 16th. It was very quick. They were more than responsive. And Southwest as well, even though this was not due to anything that they could control. The airports were closed. The cruise ports were closed. There was no way that anyone was flying into the Tampa airport. They actually issued us a voucher to use in the future. So I felt like Carnival and Southwest both handled the situation very quickly. There was constant information being provided to us, constant monitoring, and this being our first time going through this, I felt like it was a pretty smooth process. I didn't really know what to expect. You know, like I said a couple times, we were just watching the news because we don't live in Florida. So we're not there. We know we're not going to be traveling there. So it's just a timeline of when does everything happen? When do we know? When will we find out? The entire process started on October 6th. That's when we started getting the information. And by the 8th, towards the evening, everything had been canceled or moved or taken care of. So that was very quick as well. So 48 hours from when we started getting notice, we found out that the cruise was canceled. And then that was 48 hours prior to when we were set to sail. I really am impressed with how this was handled. I know it wasn't easy and there were a lot of people upset that they couldn't go on their cruises. That truthfully is not the most important thing. The most important thing are the people that were affected. However, it is a logistic nightmare for the cruise ships, the airlines, everyone that has to get people going in the right direction. So overall, it was a pretty easy process. Hopefully, it's limited in the future. I don't want anyone to have to go through this cancellation process, but if you do, you know, Carnival was more than available as far as information goes. And then if you are on Facebook, you can follow John Heald, and he is the Carnival brand ambassador. He was posting regular updates as well. So I was getting updates from text, voicemail, email, the Facebook page, John Heald's Facebook page, the Carnival website itself, and then Southwest. I got text, I got emails. Everything was pretty straightforward. So hopefully this helps. If people are booking during hurricane season, you kind of know that there's a possibility that a hurricane could come through right when your cruise is supposed to depart. So if that is the case, that's what the process was like for us. Hopefully this helped with the timelines and things that we experienced. If you've had to deal with a cancellation with a cruise line or something based on weather, how did that go? What did you guys think? What was your experience? Let me know below. If not, hopefully for people going through this the first time, hopefully this was helpful in kind of what to expect, where to get information, and the timeline that you might be looking at. So stay tuned and we'll see where we go next.